Hey guys, it's Kristin. Welcome back to my channel. I blog at lifeofstones.com where we share our personal finance experience to help you budget your best life. So I'm back today. This is a really fast video. I just wanted to get on and do a quick October budget video. I'm not going to go through it on pen and paper for you, and I'm also not going to go through it on the computer yet, partially because I haven't finalized the October budget yet. The reason I wanted to make a video to kind of walk you through it is because October is going to be a really weird month for us budget-wise. So I just felt like it didn't make sense to do a full budget video and really show you all our plans for October because we really don't have any plans for October. Let me explain. If you haven't seen my previous video, which I will link down below, we are now debt-free. Yeah, so we're super pumped. And we were all ready to get started on baby step 3. But here's the thing, the way we paid off our debt so early, if you've been following along with our debt story, and I'll link those videos down below as well, but if you've been following along with our debt story, you will know that this was actually our second round paying off debt, and we had a goal date, a very aggressive yet tentative goal date of being debt-free on December 31st of this year. Then we moved that goal up to September 30th, which was, I don't even know how we did it. By the grace of God is really the only reason we met that goal. But there was a little something weird about the way we paid off our debt at the end, and I wasn't quite sure how it would play out, so I didn't talk about it ahead of time. We kind of decided last minute. But here's the deal. We were down to $2,900 left in debt. We technically would have come up about $300 short to make that payment in full by the end of September. And what we actually did was we borrowed money from our emergency fund. We have a $1,000 emergency fund in our savings account at all times. We also had quite a few extra $100 in there, maybe 5 or 6 that we had been saving for bills in the future. So we had our auto insurance sinking fund in there. We pay our water bill quarterly. We keep that in there until it's due each quarter. We have our life insurance premium sitting in there, and we put a couple dollars extra in each month just to make sure we always have more than enough in there. So when we realized we were going to be about $300 short, we took money out of our emergency fund or out of our savings account, and we used that to make the complete payment. We also borrowed some extra money from our emergency fund because part of my monthly income and a small part of my husband's monthly income was not coming in until the very last day in September, at which time it wouldn't really be available to withdraw in time to make our payment for the end of the month. I'm not sure if this is making sense. I know it's kind of confusing. And what made us decide to do this was, if you follow me on Instagram, then you might have seen this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, just kidding, but you should. Anyway, if you follow me on Instagram, then you saw in the very beginning of September, I tried to make an extra payment on our final remaining credit card. I had $1,000 I wanted to pay on that card, and I was not able to make a payment. I had never seen this before, but I posted it on Instagram, and a couple of other people chimed in that they have experienced the same thing. So apparently, some credit cards, with some credit cards, once your minimum balance is satisfied for the month, you are not able to put any more money on that card until your next payment is due. Now, it's possible I could have called them and asked them to post an extra payment over the phone, but considering we were planning on paying it off in full just 2 or 3 weeks later, I didn't really feel like it was worth my time. Point being, if we paid all but $300 on that card, it appeared as though we then would have had to wait another entire month just to pay that final remaining $300. And to us, that didn't make any sense. I'm not gonna wait like 4 more weeks to pay off $300 when I have $1,600 sitting in the bank. It just didn't make sense. I mean, obviously, it's just what worked for us. You don't have to do that. I don't necessarily advise that you take money out of your emergency fund to pay off debt. The reason it made sense for us was because, God forbid, should something have happened, first of all, we didn't drain our emergency fund. We still had a couple $100 in there. And second of all, if something did happen, we technically could have cash flowed it the very next week. So that's the decision we made. That brings us to October. And October budget, we decided instead of really stretching ourselves extra thin this month to try and pay all that money back and bring everything back to balance, we decided that what we were going to do, so we're still continuing our bare bones budget for the month of October. We did only take $50 for our spend category again. We eliminated adding to our cash envelopes that had enough money and didn't really require a deposit this week. We also decided to hold off on a couple things that we were going to purchase once we were debt-free, but we're going to push those back. Also, to become debt-free in September, we did not contribute our money. We usually put $300 a month in our savings account to cover those bills I mentioned earlier. Life insurance, car insurance, water bill, trash bill, etc. So technically in October, what we are focusing on is replacing the $700 to our emergency fund that we borrowed. That covers the couple $100 we were short for our debt payment and the couple $100 of income that would not be coming in until the very end of the month. So we're going to replace the $700 in our savings account, which actually we already did because we got paid yesterday. So that's back to normal. Our emergency fund is back to $1,000 again. Another expense that we had cut previously was we didn't give ourselves as much personal money as we normally do. So I have a little bit of a backlog of money that I owe for my husband and I owe for myself for our personal categories. And what we're doing is we're just taking a little bit out at a time and I'm just keeping a running balance. We also decided when we were debt-free that we were each going to take a bonus of $50 personal cash in celebration of being debt-free. We didn't want to do anything crazy, but we wanted to acknowledge our personal sacrifice and hard work and do a little something to reward ourselves. We went out to dinner as a family and treated my parents, which was really important to us because they do so much for us on a regular basis. So that was part of our celebration, and then we also gave ourselves $50 each. We're paying ourselves a little bit of that money for October. And the other thing that we're doing, we're going to transfer $300 to our savings account for our October bills, and we're also going to pay ourselves back. We really only owe $250 for our September bills that we need to transfer into our savings account as well. So that is an extra $550 in the month of October that we will be transferring over to our savings account. We also had a good opportunity to purchase a couple tools that my husband really needs from a family member at an extremely high discount. We're probably getting about $700 worth of tools for $150. They're practically brand new and in great shape. And this was awesome because normally when great deals like this come our way, we always have to pass because we never have any money and we couldn't exactly pay a relative on a credit card. So this is the first time that something like this has come our way, and while October is still a tight budget for us, we're debt free, and that's part of the reason why we work so hard to pay off debt, so that when things like this come up that we know are really good value and we know we should jump on, we're finally able to take advantage of it. That combined, there's not much left in October for us. Anything that is left will be put to starting our Christmas fund. I am going to do a video on how we'll be saving for Christmas, so I'm not going to go into that right now. My income will drop this month, so we have a little bit less coming in October. Plus my husband has a much smaller pay coming the second pay of October. So this month is tight for us. First paycheck in November, we should be completely back to normal, debt-free, and have some extra money to finally start baby step 3 and building our 3 to 6 month emergency fund. We haven't quite figured out on what our plan is for saving that money and building that emergency fund, but once we hammer out all the details, I'll film a video and share it with you guys. That's really all I had to share for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I hope it was helpful to you. Sorry I didn't get the chance to show you the actual budget on paper or the computer. Let me know if you found this video helpful, or if I should just skip it the next time I don't have an official budget in place. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, and I hope to see you back here real soon.